Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Make a bigger circle, wide stance. Open it up. Every time you come back, you're gonna make a little heart. Big heart, bring it down. Little heart, big heart. One more time, little heart and big heart. Hands on your thighs. Roll through your cat and your open heart. Couple more. And big deep breath in. And we're going to put all our weight on our right foot, please. Left toes are in front. You're going to bend your right knee. Let those left toes slide even further and come back. So we slide and come back. If you want, add arms. Just 2 more. Working that right leg. Spine is tall. Beautiful. And then we're going to reach to the side with that leg and glide it in. Give it a squeeze. Reach it out as you glide it in. Squeeze those inner thighs. Arms if you want. Just simple. Two more. Beautiful. And then we'll step a little bit forward with that right foot. Remember, as we step to the back, or as we reach to the back, you don't want to hinge too much. I know you'll have to hinge a little bit, but keep your chest up as much as possible, reaching back. If you want to add intensity, arms can come up. You can do 1 arm or 2 arms. They can come all the way up over your head or just out in front of you to add a little longer lever. Just a couple more. Last time, reach it back and bring it up, but not quite all the way. We're going to take that right leg over the left. Let's put our hand on our left hip, and before we do anything, reach the right arm tall, not over, but tall. How far can you get your fingertip from your armpit? How far can you get your armpit from your rib, rib from hip? So I want you to think about lifting up, like showing the side of your hip there, and then push into that right hip as you lean up and over, not flopping over, but reaching, 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 so you feel it all down that side. And then back up, uncross, weight on that left leg, right toes in front. We bend to reach forward. We bend to reach forward. Good. Last one. Beautiful. And we reach out. As we come in, we're going to squeeze, reach out, give it a good squeeze as you come in. Last one, reach it out and squeeze it in. Step forward with that left foot. Again, spine tall as you reach back and tap. If you want to add a little intensity, maybe your arms just come in front of you. Maybe go forehead. Maybe they go all the way up. And last time, reach it back. As you come up, you just step so that your legs are crisscrossed, left in front of right. Hand on your right hip. Left arm reaches. Try and get space between your finger and your armpit and your rib cage and your rib cage and your hip, and then push the hip to the side. Beautiful. Hopefully you feel a little bit of difference than the original stretch of just kind of flopping over. And bring that back. All right. And we'll step to the back of our mats, please. Find yourself in that wide straddle. Roll through your cat and inhale through your open heart. Let's stay here for a second. Push that booty back a little extra. Try to focus from here to here. So lower back to tailbone. Tuck and extend. Just that piece of it. If you can kind of isolate there, tuck and extend, tuck and extend, tuck and extend as much as you can, like you have a happy little doggy tail. Then pull your belly button in, pull your ribs in, and then we'll go that full range. So tuck that tailbone under, roll, 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 roll through the low back, mid back, upper back, and then really exaggerate that extension. From that extended position, pull your abs and your ribs in, roll your shoulders back and down, hands are right here, just a simple retraction. So all I'm doing is squeezing my shoulder blades together, arms stay straight. I'm supporting myself right there with those bent knees. Keep that going for a couple more seconds, please. Well, we have a wardrobe change. Maybe a couple more seconds. Just two more. Retracting back, and last time, retract back. Leave that there. Walk yourself out, high plank position, and you're going to think about doing pretty much the exact same thing. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, press away. Squeeze and press, squeeze and press. Two more, squeeze and press, squeeze and press. Sit down. Bring your hands together, palms together. As you sit back, you can bring your thumb down your spine, elbows stretch forward, hips stretch back. And then all the way up on your hands and knees, roll through that cat and that open heart one more time. Squeeze those shoulders down your spine. And then you're just going to pivot those knees and feet to one side and meet me in a seated position. Comfortable. We're going to take a moment for those wrists. So take your right hand, shoot a basketball hoop by following through. Make sure your elbow is straight and then pull back on that wrist. Drop the shoulder out of your ear, pull back with the shoulder, and then flip the hand the other way. Pull the fingers back or reach and pull that whole palm. Do your best to keep that right hand or right arm straight. And then gently curl a fist. And once again, we're going to pull back. Feel a nice stretch, hopefully all the way down there, shoulder back and down. And then shake that out, flip it upside down, fingers go upside down, and now we pull back that way. You can play again with pressing that whole palm back. And shake that out. Sitting nice and tall, left hand, shoot a hoop, follow through, get the shoulder back, and then pull back, feeling that stretch all the way down that arm, shoulders back and down. And you're going to flip it the other way, pull back on those fingers. And then gentle fist and pull back. And then flip it upside down and pull back. Beautiful. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. From that seated position, we're going to go ahead and shoot our feet out and grab hold of our legs, taking our time, rolling down, using our arms to help so we're not just flattening that back, but we're just using our hands to help articulate. Once we're down, legs in one direction, arms in the other, point the toes, then flex through the heels, and as you do so, bring those hips and ribs closer together, a little pelvic tilt. And then inhale, stretch and reach, point the toes, and then again on the exhale, you're going to pull the ribs and the hips together, tuck the hips under. I want you to remember this one for later. And then bend those knees. You can keep the hips tucked under with that low back firmly in the ground and the ribs flat, or you can be in neutral spine. Hands on your thighs. Deep breath in, nod your head yes. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Inhale, reach up, and then stretch those arms overhead if you want a little more challenge. Exhale, bring everything down. Inhale. Exhale, stretch, reach. Arms go overhead on the inhale, and exhale, bring it down. Or You can keep your head down, but when you reach those arms overhead, you make sure those ribs are still nice and flat. And exhale down, deep breath in. Exhale, either lifting up or keeping the head down. If you've chosen to keep the head down, gently press it into the ground to get a little action in those muscles, cervical, little extensor muscles. And then last two. And last one, whether your head is up or down, really reach through those fingers, pull the abs, flatten the ribs, back of the neck is long, either gently pressing the head into the ground or holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a little break, hug those knees in, and then move just to hug the right leg in. Maybe do a couple little ankle circles to the left. Again, always an opportunity to nod that head yes and gently press. And then both legs, tabletop position, knees above your hips, shins parallel, hands by your side, deep breath in. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Inhale, stretch and reach as you point the toes, reach the arms. You don't want to lower your legs so much that the abs pop up. Sweep the arms, exhaling. Inhale, stretch and reach, double leg stretch, point those toes, exhale to bend. You can do this again with your head down, doesn't matter. The challenge is that you create those long levers with the arms and the legs, and you just don't let there be a change in the abs, the ribs, and the low back. Just two more. And then the last one, whether your head is up or down, we hold. Abs in, ribs flat, low back the same distance, holding here. Point those toes a little harder, engage those quads, reach those thumbs closer, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, hug that in. Put the left foot on the ground, cross the right knee over, and let the knees drop gently to the left. Get a little stretch for the back. Come back up through center. Leave the legs as they are, but let them drop to the right. Come back up through center, uncross, right foot on the ground, left knee crosses over. Let them drop to the right. And back up through center, they drop left. And back up through center, legs back in tabletop, hands right straight up above you, press the shoulder blades down, nod the head yes. Take your right arm and your left leg, don't let the right knee move, reach them in opposite directions. Inhale, center. Right leg, left arm, abs in, ribs in, back of the neck long, shoulders still down, head gently pressing. Single leg stretch. You can absolutely do this with your head up, but you don't have to. One more each leg. And hug those knees wide, wide legs. Let the right leg drop in, left leg drops open. Quick little stretch for the front of that right thigh, hip flexor, and quadricep. Back up through center, other way, left knee drops in. And back up through center. Let's bring the heels together, toes apart. Knees are going to be a little wider than hips. Deep breath in, head gently presses, nod the head yes, shoulders press, and up we go into a bridge. And then if you want, you can hover your hands or they may be down. You can see what we're going to do and then make a choice. We're going to lift those heels and spin them out so they come under the knees. Then we're going to lift the toes, spin them out so they come out. Lift the heels. So we're kind of doing a little crab walk. Again, you can try this with your hands hovering, shoulders down, head down, back of the neck is long. And even though as you lift and lower heel and toe, you might feel a little lift and lower in your hips, you don't want to make it too exaggerated. Two more, one more time out, and one more time in. And then knees together, and we roll down. Left leg extends along. We're going to hug that right knee in, hands behind the hamstring. Give it a nice curl in. Let it rotate to the right. Bring it back through center. Let it rotate to the left. Maybe grab, reach around outside, and give it a tug. And then stretch that leg out. Left knee in. Give it some love. To the side, back through center and across. And once again, out, reach the arms overhead, and then tuck and flex. And then we'll come back, and we'll go into our tabletop yet again. So knees are stacked. Let's bring those arms out, and while we're here, we want to gently press the head, shoulders, elbows, and knuckles into the ground. As we go into our toe touch, the leg moves away from the body, but there's no change in the abs or the low back. Alternating legs for single leg toe touch, or you could make it a heel flex so the leg has to go just a wee bit further. You can squeeze both legs together, toe touch. You can squeeze both legs together, heel flex. You can create that wide lever by going into that froggy position, toes apart, heels together, knees apart. You can go long lever, so it could be a single leg. Again, no change in that low back. Or you can go double leg. Try and take 2 counts as the legs or the thighs move away, and 4 as they come back up. And we'll take a quick break once again, maybe one leg in each hand, draw a big circle, and then bring your forehead to your knees. Option to just rock side to side. In a moment, you'll meet us in a seated position, but you're going to rock for a while. If you're here to roll, you're going to grab hands around the ankles, roll up, pause for a moment, roll back just to your ribs. Small little movement. And then sitting tall and extending those legs. They might be bent, they might be straight. Pull those glutes out from under you. Press your hands beside you so that your spine grows very tall. And then give me a little hinge forward. And then you could grab your hamstrings or your shins. Some of you might reach your toes, or you can just press in front of you, reach out in front of you, or reach out and up. So you're lifting up out of those hips as you hinge. And bring that down. Relax that. We're going to do a variation for our roll down today. It's more about rotation. So we're not necessarily going to hinge back very much. We're going to sit tall to start with. And your front arm is coming to me and your back arm is going overhead. And then you're just opening. Coming back to center, switch it up and open. So that's option 1. Just rotation. If you feel like you can do it without rounding the spine, you can hinge back as you rotate. Again, the last thing you want to do is tuck and round, because then we're really compressing those vertebrae, which we're trying to avoid. Knees are staying together. Notice if your knees are shuffling like that, do your best to keep them square because that means my hips are staying square and I'm rotating at the waistline, not the hips. And relax. Let's go ahead, rotate over onto our side. Knees are stacked, arm is underneath your ear. Grab hold of that waistline and create a little mouse house there. We'll start with that simple version of clam, just opening and closing. Heels together, toes apart. Now we're going to add on top leg lifts, bottom leg lifts. They both come down or down, down, close. Sorry. Open, lift, down, close. Open, lift, down, close. Open, lift, down, close. Last one like that. And then final add-on, open, lift, stretch, back, down, close. Open, lift, stretch, back, down, close. Just two more, open, lift, stretch, back, down, and close. Open, lift, stretch, back, down, and close. Ooh, give that hip some love. Let's stay on this side, but prop ourselves up on our elbow, please. So as always, elbow under shoulder, push the shoulder back, press it down, space here, lats down, maybe even reach back and find those little muscles behind your shoulders. Option one, all 10 toes are straight up in the air, but on the side of my thigh. Option two, top leg in front of the bottom one. And option three, stack them up. Keep that hip lifting. Maybe take a little extra reach overhead, get that hip a tiny bit higher. And gently down. All right, we flip over to the other side. Once again, stack those knees, arm underneath your ear, waistline lifted, heels together, toes apart. We pivot open. And then we add on, open, lift, down, close. Open, lift, down, close. Last one like that. Good. And then we add on one more, open, lift, stretch, back, down, close, open, lift, stretch, back, down, close. Last one, open, lift, stretch, back, down, and close. And give that hip some love. And then again, we're going to prop up on that elbow right underneath your shoulder. Push the shoulder back, press it down, engage those lats, create awareness right behind your shoulder. And then option one, of course, all 10 toes in the air, sides of the knees, or you can go to your straddle or your stack. And gently come down. Let's pivot over onto our abs. Forehead rests on your hands. Oh, take a moment. Let's windshield wiper those legs side to side. Loosen up that low back. And then stretch those legs out. Pull the belly button in, press the pubic bone into the ground, lift the right leg long and bring it down. Lift the left leg long and bring it down. Do that again, right leg, and left leg, and right leg, and left leg. One more, right and left. Ground the lower body so toes stay down, arms into a V, forehead gently resting, slide your shoulders down your spine and up, down and up. One more time, down, leave them there, lift the right arm, lift the forehead just parallel with the ground, and then left arm. Try not to tip side to side. Abs in, belly button pulled in, pubic bone pressing, and relax. And then, using the floor for support on this first one, we'll lift the right leg and the left arm, and down. Right arm, left leg, and down. Left arm, right leg, and down. One more, right arm, left leg. You can continue with that, bringing your arms and legs down, or lift both, all four, off the ground. And then left arm, right leg, pause, don't go fast. Right arm, left leg, pause. Right arm, left, or right, left. Right arm, left leg. And finally, right arm, left arm, right arm, left leg, and relax. Okay, and then we'll just gently press back, get a little stretch again, shell stretch. And then as we come forward, we're going to undulate forward and back, heart and cat. And then we come down onto our forearms. And as always, we're going to do skis, not tripods, shoulders out of our ears. Let's find those same little muscles that we've been talking about. Pull them back, nod your head yes, lengthen out to the back of the neck, and then pull your collarbone, your ribs, your abs, and your hips up in a nice long straight line for pre-plank. You can stay there, or you can roll onto the tops of your thighs, all 10 toes straight up in the air, or you can tuck your toes into that full plank. And gently down. We're going to come all the way back again, undulate through that cat and open heart. And bring your hands right underneath you in that cat, or excuse me, that heart position, tailbone up, shoulders together, and let everything go to the left, and then round through your cat, come to the right. So it's like a jump rope sort of. And then reverse it. So we're going to go in that heart position or that cow, round up over to the left. Cow to the right, cat to the left. One more time. Cow right and cat left. And we spin once again over into our seated position. We're going to bend the knees and keep pulling those glutes out from under us till we sit really nice and tall. Flex through the heels. If you're able to straighten those legs without any dropping in the spine, do that, and then extend those arms. You're going to rotate to the front facing me. You're going to think about this back arm pulling you a little deeper and making sure that the back hip doesn't tip. And then you're going to take the front arm and you're going to hinge forward with that extended spine. So string suspending your head. And then, without slumping, you can take one hand to the outside of that shin and give yourself a slightly deeper reach. And if you're able, you can hinge, but let's not do that. Inhale, center. Rotate to the opposite direction. Lead with your back arm. Press with your front arm. Push the front hip down. Reach, maybe grab the shin. Rotate a little deeper. Maybe a flex. Inhale, center with the breath. Exhale, twist, reach, front side, Inhale, twist, reach, sitting tall. Inhale, center. Exhale, other way. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Last one. And back to center. All right, let's bring those big toes to touch. Reformat if need be, sit tall. Squeeze those big toes together. I want you to spread your toes wide and keep engagement of those feet. If you ever have bunions, this is actually a little stretch to push the big toes toward each other. And then if you're slumped, sit tall, tall, tall. Arms in that same T position. Rotate to the front of the room. This time we're emphasizing the back arm. It's going to lead us a little further and a little further and a little further. Inhale back to center. Rotate to the back. Use that back arm to go further, further, further. Inhale, center with the breath. It's only 3. Inhale, center. Don't bounce your arms. Just reach further, further, further. Check your big toes when you come back. Are they still touching? To the front, we inhale and twist, twist, twist on the exhale without the arms bouncing. Check your big toes to the back. Inhale, pause. Look at your big toes. Look at your big toes. Then come to the front, twist, twist, twist. Good. Inhale, check the toes. Back to the room, twist, twist, twist. Inhale, center, check the toes. Twist, twist, twist. Inhale, center to the back. This time, bend your front elbow. Push back, push back, push back. Check the toes. Push, 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 and relax. Woo! All right. Bend those knees, give them a hug in, and relax for a moment. All right, legs straighten again. I mentioned this at the beginning. We're going to tuck the hips under and press the low back into the ground. And then we're going to bring our fingertips just to our temples for now. Inhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Exhale, reach the arms further. See if you can lift yourself a little higher. Inhale, bring your arms either here to the temples or out wide. And then exhale, bring them back to where you were. Inhale, and then exhale, roll down. We're doing that again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, fingers here or here. Exhale back. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale down. This is the beginning of neck pull. Terrible name. I don't want you to pull on your neck. But if you want to go full range, here we go. Inhale, lift. On the exhale, you reach and maybe you grab your legs to help yourself come up. You inhale either here or here. You exhale, hinge forward. You inhale, extend tall. And then what's important on the roll down is that you don't cave. You don't let your elbows come forward and you don't let your legs lift up. So if my legs are going to lift up, instead, I'm going to hold them and help myself down. Then we start right back up. Inhale, exhale through the tough spot. Inhale to sit tall here or here. Exhale to hinge forward. Inhale, grow tall. And then you're trying to come down by tucking the hips under, pulling the belly button in, rolling down a vertebra at a time. You inhale right back up again. Here's the modification. You exhale to reach. You inhale, fingertips here or here. You exhale, and then you inhale, grow tall, and then come down. Full range. You inhale to lift. You exhale. You inhale tall. You exhale to hinge. You inhale to sit tall. And you exhale back down again. Whichever version you're doing, you're going to do 2 more. I'm just going to look and see what's going on over here. And you have 1 more. Whoops, don't hurtle yourself through space. And on the last one, once you're down, just hug both knees into your chest for me, please. Take a little break. And then left foot on the ground. We're going to hug that right knee in. I'm going to draw a big circle on the ceiling with that knee. And then we're going to bring it over to the right side and give it a good squeeze. While you're there, let's let that left leg flop open in so almost like a half frog position. And then we'll circle that right ankle. And then we're going to reach down with our left hand and grab the big toe. We're going to press down and then pull back the other toes with the right hand. We're pushing the knee down. Remember that left leg is just flopped out to the side for now. And then you can play with that foot for a second if you want. And then we're going to straighten that leg, still holding with that left hand, and straighten out the left leg. Right arm to the side. I'm going to let that right leg move to the left, holding on if I can. If I need to let go, you can grab your calf or your hamstring. And then I'm going to bend that knee as I come back through center. I'm going to use my right arm to help bring it back. And I'm going to drape it across my left thigh, past the figure 4. And we'll make it a little more active. Drag it in. Maybe you can pull that ankle further across and press that knee away. Then reach around, thread your needle, grabbing either the hamstring or the front of the shin, and bend the elbows. And then cross that knee all the way over. Use your left hand to hug everything up to the left shoulder. Maybe the right arm goes in a cactus position. And then you gently let those knees begin to drop left. Either support them with your left hand in a very gentle twist, or let them slide a little more or all the way. Use your left elbow, push everything back up through center, hug the right knee in again, stretch the left leg out on the ground, extend that right leg up, point and flex, and rotate again, and then flex through the heel, and we're going to glide up, bringing your nose up towards your knee, if that's okay with you. And then arms out into a T, draw me a big circle in one direction, and then the other. And then let that right leg down. And savor that moment where you realize that your right leg is 7 inches longer than your left. Maybe the hip flexor is flatter and that low back is closer to the ground. And so we'll even up, right knee bends, left knee in, and we're going to let the right leg drop open as we rotate that left knee a couple times in circles, making sure we go both ways. And then we let it open to the left. We're going to reach down with our right hand, grab our big toe. We're going to flex, and then maybe use your left hand to pull back the other toes. Meanwhile, just letting that right leg be open. And then we're going to begin to straighten that left leg, straighten the right leg, and gently let that leg come down, bend the knee if need be. Still holding on if you can. And then use your right elbow, bring that all back through center, let it drape across your right thigh. Take a moment, gently press the head and the shoulders into the ground. Glide your right heel back, and maybe you can slide that ankle further, press the leg away, thread your needle. And gently cross that left knee all the way over. Left arm comes to the left. Grab the knees and pull them towards your right shoulder. You can stay there, or you can support the legs as they come a little further. You can let them drop all the way or part of the way into a twist. And push that all back up through center. Straighten that right leg out on the ground. Flex through the left heel and point it. Maybe do some circles. And then we'll slide up. Come back down, draw a big circle on the ceiling in both directions. And lay that leg down. And now they should both feel delicious. Arms reach up overhead. And then on the exhale, tuck the hips under Glide the knees in, give them a little rock side to side. Roll to one side, and then bring yourself up. And again, we'll undulate through that open heart and that cat. And then we'll walk the hands back, flex through those palms, tuck those toes, press up, pedal down if you'd like. Wide stance, walk it back. Hands on your thighs, roll cat. Inhale heart, big deep breath in. And thank you guys.